Hello, foodies, and welcome back to FUT in Review, episode 679. We are back in our studio live from, well, this time Netherlands again, and not from our yearly community event in Crete. We are back straight into the La Liga team of the season. My name is John, and of course, I wouldn't be able to do this show alone. I'm joined by two top-notch Scottish hosts. Let me say hi to the first one, James Tolando. Hi, James.
Hello, how are we doing, John? Good to have you back with us.
Cheers. It's good to be back, although I have to admit, if we would have stayed one more week longer, I wouldn't have mind too much, honestly. We did miss you there, though. So hopefully next year, my friend.
Yeah, hopefully. Definitely.
And before we start talking about team of the season and what we did in Crete, it is my pleasure to reintroduce everyone to the man wearing the last of the special editions FUT review cap, because I gave mine away last week. It's none other than Chris Grandpapa Mac, the teddy bear. Hey, Chris.
Hey, John. Hi, James. How you doing?
Well, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Aye, very good, very good. Just got over the Crete trip. Been back at work this week, so it's been a bit of a blur, but looking forward to being on the show today.
Chris, you don't look half as sunburned as you did last week.
No, it's been a bit. I've been indoors, but the weather was. I think it was the best weather I've ever had. John, would you not say?
It wasn't too warm. No, actually, like 25 degrees. A bit of wind. You actually had a swim in the sea. It was fairly good.
It was pleasant. I mean, we were actually, the pool at the hotel was actually really nice. It was pleasant as well.
People said there were snakes, though.
Well, we'll. So what happened was we were all just having a wee relaxing dip in the pool till someone shouted, "There's a snake there!" in the pool. So everybody jumped out. Poor Ken got shoved at the rod with Lara, and Rachel as they bolted out of the pool, and then it happened to realise that it was a tag off of Rachel's swimsuit floating at the bottom of the pool. So yeah, it was a good laugh, that one. I think Caden still got injuries, says he got knocked out the way with the two ladies trying to get out of the water.
The funny thing is, we were recording a Formula One show of a balcony at the hotel, and they were swimming like in the pool downstairs. So we had eyes, and then we saw everyone running away, screaming, like, "What's going on?" And we were like, "They're probably just drunk." And later we heard they were running from an imaginary snake.
Yeah, there is no snakes at the Ava Mar Hotel. I'll hasten to add that before we get a row off Marios.
No, don't worry. You won't find any snakes there. No. We did find some earthquakes, though, Chris.
Oh, really?
Sorry, John, what was that? You just broke out as you sassed.
I said we did find some earthquakes on the way.
Yes, we did, but some of us actually had a few drinks that night before, so slept right through it. And I woke up in the morning and everyone was talking about it at breakfast. Pleased to say they've actually had one last week as well, or this week actually. So I'm pleased to say that Marius and his family are all okay, and it's the hotel. All our best wishes to everyone on the island of Crete. Hope everybody's okay.
Yes. So apparently we bring our speakers and everything. Well, we break literally everything. Now, in all seriousness, everyone is all right on Crete. There's no big damages announced. But it was the first time for me having experienced an earthquake, which was quite interesting, especially with half a liter of raki and beer behind me, I think.
You did well to feel it, John, because I'll tell you right now, I did not feel it. I was sleeping like a baby, I'll be honest with you.
I woke up thinking, am I this drunk? The floor is moving. But it was actually an earthquake. So, yeah. Chris, that's all behind us now. Mm-hmm. It is time for team of the season. Although, maybe I should start with, well, not a rant, but maybe start with some personal feelings about the game currently. Is that all right?
Fine, guys.
Like, I'm not much of a complainer. At least I'd like to think so. Or at least not on the game related. Chris just started to think about drinking again. I've realized last week when we were playing the tournament on the non-FUT version of the game, that this game is actually pretty well balanced. If you play 4-3-3 and someone counts that with a 4-1-4-1 with a lower depth and a high striker and 95 depth, it all doesn't feel all that overpowered. It does feel pretty balanced. Switching tactics works a lot. Having not 99 rated players does help with that. And I really enjoyed last week non-FUT play. Then this week we come back. Of course, there's big promotions coming on. And I found no urgency to actually play. And I tell you exactly what's going on here. I don't have anything to play for. Maybe that sounds ridiculous because there's so much impact. But my team is fine. I mean, not the end all be all, but just fine. I've made elite. I've made my wins, which I wanted to do this year in Weekend League. I just don't have anything to play for, if that makes sense. Like if we play for the tournament, Chris, you have something like, I need to win the tournament. If I win next game, I'm in the semis or whatever. And it felt so good and so much fun playing this pretty well-balanced game. Then I play Rivals this week, and why I'm actually doing this, just to get back into Elite Division, or before we start relegating again and use the same players to start playing again, to get into the same Elite Division again, to get even better players to do it once again next season. It felt a little bit maybe still. And then there's another game I'm playing a lot. Chris knows I'm playing a lot of Diablo on the side. A lot relatively to FIFA, of course, that's not a lot, but I'm playing Diablo on the side. It's my sort of secondary game, right? That game resets every 2 months, Chris. Mm-hmm. Sometimes 3 months, but it just completely resets. And like everything you've done last 2 months, it's okay. This is your legacy character. You can now start anew. Everything, you start level 1, you have to do everything anew. There's new features added, new powers or new ways of playing, whatever. They just shovel it around, but you start anew. And I'm like, yes, I can finally start anew. Fresh, everything from zero. Let's go. Find a new way to play, find a new tactic, find a new way of optimizing my characters. And 3 months later, I'll do the exact thing once again, just to make sure I can get up to the highest level once again before it resets. In FIFA, we do have the rival season resets, but our teams don't reset. And especially with a power curve as much as this, and the rewards only being more high-rated cards, it feels like I'm sort of that hamster on the wheel. I'm moving, but I'm not sure why I'm actually moving and not just sitting in the corner of the hamster cage and just relaxing and eating. Does this make sense? I mean, it feels a bit weird, but I feel the current rival system compared to the power curve we're at is sort of hitting a dead end for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me give you my thoughts, John, and then we'll actually pass it to an expert, because James has always got some interesting takes on it from a gameplay point of view, etc. The problem, I think, is the community, John. I think this is the issue for me, is the community, because I can remember when I first picked up FUT maybe 10 years ago, and a mega pack was something fantastic, or, round about FUTmas, there'd be 100k pack in the store, and that would be something amazing, and that would be December time. We have this game for a couple of weeks as a promo out, and be a 90 rated player by the time we get to the end of the first season. So I think it is down to what the community wants. The community wants shiny players. They want that every week. I mean, if you look at, teams, I think we're going to discuss it, some great players in there, but actually, are those any better than the Serie A team that's been out last week? And a lot of us have packed some really decent cards here. I feel a bit sorry for EA, and I know that will get me a little bit of hate out there, but I think EA are basically just feeding the monster. What do you think, James? Sorry, John.
Sorry, James, I'll be right with you.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
The other thing is what I really liked about the game when this year started is I like the rules on players. James and I spoke about this before we started this podcast, but I like rules on players. I like having a certain, like a Dumfries being an attacking wingback, right? And if I have a formation which needs a defensive fullback, then Dumfries isn't the player for me. All the players currently have like all the rules, most of it, or at least 3 or 4, whatever, plus. It doesn't really make much of a difference who you use. If you now play the 4-2-1-3 and you want one defensive fullback, you will have one to use in that position. And I liked quite tinkering around that. And I was looking back in the video last year where there was I think it was a German fullback which fitted what I wanted in the fullback perfectly. And I used that fullback because I was like, if I get this one, I can build this tactic and it sort of fits. At this stage of the game, I don't have that anymore. So all of the players are good. There's no actual way of improving. There's just one formation that's pretty well balanced. And there's nothing new to be working towards. And I think even if you would get players one every week in the shiny players, but for example, card games do this, Chris, where they say, okay, we have shiny new cards every 6 weeks, every 2 weeks, every week, whatever. But this 3 months, you can only use players from these promos. The next 3 months, you can use players from these promos. Or you can use it until this rating has been reached with your team. Whatever. At least you can sort of tinker as well. And you see some new things coming up. New setups, new formations, new play styles, whatever. It now feels like they're giving so much on the content side. Not much on the gameplay grinding side. Except if you want to score 45 goals in squad battles this week. Which, well, to each their own, I'd say. That I don't find a reason to actual play. I'm actually opening packs on the app and grinding players and doing, but I'm not really looking forward to playing. And I miss that feeling even more after playing a proper tournament last week, where actually every match counted for something. If that makes sense, James.
I definitely, I totally agree. And with both points, to be brutally honest, there isn't really much to play for. Every promo's just a copy and paste now. I hear you with the roles, and I feel similar with playstyles. I wouldn't want all players to have the certain playstyles that wouldn't fit their real characters in real life. With the roles, like I spoke to you before, I feel that at the start of the game, though, it makes it sometimes formations and players redundant because they don't have plus and so on and so forth. But also then if we go what to Chris says, I would love, like maybe what he used the example of 10 years ago where it was always gold players up till like November, December time. And that was brilliant. Do you know what I mean? You could play against your pals, and you had the Barbos that you would, I've got this 78 rated or whatever it was, I'll still smoke you with this guy. So it was good, yeah. But unless you're really building towards an end-game Evo team, I think, the motivation's very, very low, especially now, the 23rd of May coming up now, 2-3 months until the next game. Also, there's leaks that the game might come out earlier than usual. So I definitely, and we'll touch on this later on, but if I didn't have my Celtic Evo team, I would not much to play for at all. I would love like cups as well. I would like, and also if we go back to your point, John, I don't know if you'll agree on this. I think the new change with qualifiers, having just one now, what's the point in having it?
Nice.
Do you know what I mean?
I didn't realise that, James. I didn't realise it didn't happen. I played qualifiers last night at one game. It says you're qualified, and I was like, right, okay then. So just do away with it. Just do away with qualifiers. You know what I mean? Just let people get in. I don't know why they've done that change. It seems a bit bizarre. Maybe John.
No, it feels like the same thing I'm in. But I think there's a decline in players that actually play the game.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
But I mean, we'll get to the team, John. I mean,
no, but that's like the players are perfect. The team of the season, like Serie last week, was really good. Some proper SBCs, proper Evos. I don't really care much about the Evo glitch, but I mean, there's plenty to do in this game. But there's not much to play towards, or not much to build towards, I think.
I mean, do EA then need to start having 80 being the highest rated player at the start of the game, as opposed to 90? You take it Mbappe, what was he, 91 his gold card?
No, I don't necessarily think that's... Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But they hit the ceiling. They've hit the ceiling. You think about Mbappe, right? Mbappe's a type of player who will get a player of the month, won't he? Let's be honest. It's that type
team
of
the
player.
week.
A team of the week or something like that. He's going to get something. So when you rune 91 and 99 is the highest rated card you'll get, and let's be honest, you're not getting 99 rated till right into the summer. I don't know if it makes any odds or if it would make any difference. I mean, John, I see you play Marvel Snap, isn't it? You play that game.
Yeah, but maybe Chris, here's my issue. Sorry.
So I was just going to ask you one question.
The connection is also a bit back. Sorry, go ahead.
The question I was going to ask, John, is when you say you can't use those cards for only a certain period of time, how do you feel if you've bought those cards?
I'm perfectly fine, honestly. Marvel Snap doesn't have that system. It just resets your progress every month, and there's new cards coming out. Right. I think that's a bit different. But I mean, Hearthstone, for example, does do that. Like every 3 months, one series falls off and you can't use them anymore. But also there, like those games don't only reset the progress a little bit, but they also give you something new to play for. They introduce new modes. They introduce qualifications for tournaments. So they have community tournaments which you can qualify for. Besides playing rivals or getting your 15 wins in weekend league, there's not much to get to. And once you've hit elite or you've got the wins, I mean, I'm stuck at 14 wins this year in weekend league, right? But I'm not that intense to say let's attempt every weekend to make sure I get 15. I'm like, it's good enough for me. But there's not much, like even if even if we just had them 91 rated cards now, it still wouldn't make a difference that anything we've accomplished, or let me speak for myself, that I've accomplished gameplay wise can't actually be topped anymore for a long while, and there's nothing new to play towards. If you look at racing games, usually they have like a rating system. You can go up to S rating, and then even then you can get top tiered and you get more progress, you get on leaderboards, you get certificates, you get emails saying, or messages saying, oh, look at John, he did a perfect time on this. You get some promotion, you get like a shout out, whatever. Nobody cares if I get elite next week anymore or not, right? Even I don't really care too much anymore. I don't want to, like, it can also be that it's just game over gameplay wise. But I do feel that cycle in combination with the power curve makes it that, I mean, I'm happy if I would get a Jamal tonight. But honestly, is Jamal that much better than the card I am already have? Probably a slightly bit, but would that make me want to, I don't know, see if we can get the 15 wins next weekend? No, really.
No.
I mean, and the things we get is score 45 goals in squad battles. I don't know about you, but I don't find that much of a. I did it, but it's not like it's a challenge because it's just if anything goes wrong, you need to score like every 2 minutes. You need to score 1 goal, so it's a bit. You can be a bit tight. Honestly, here's my FUT coaching tip of the week. If you played 4-2-4, should be fairly easy. I think I made 49 goals or something. But if that's the point of where I've built my squad for this year, then I think we've sort of missed the target, if that makes sense. And maybe it's just me after a week of playing competitive in a different environment, feel like, well, Rivals isn't competitive. Rivals is just a hard grind with a number at the end, which gives cards that won't probably improve my team anyway.
Okay. Can I ask the both of you a question, in terms of what we were talking about tonight, and we discussed there's a mode on FUT that I think would be excellent if they just done something about it, which is draft. Like, they haven't touched that mode in X amount of years. I would love it if they could make it more and the rewards were a lot more better. Like you were talking about a mega pack earlier, like ultimate pack, that used to be the bees and he's, but it's nothing. It's nothing anymore. So that, for you guys, would that be something to get you playing more with our existing mode? I'm just thinking in terms of EA, what they can do, like to revamp the rewards, revamp the wins that you just need 4 wins, make it a more league or a knockout or skill based. What would you say to that?
Well, it can also be cosmetics, right? If you win 10 titles in the real life as a football club, you put a star on your shirt. Why not let me put a star on my badge with my name on it for every time I hit elite every season? Or, I mean, we get a tifo, but I skip those intros, so nobody actually sees those things anymore. So that doesn't make sense. Or put up a leaderboard like most wins this season, top 500 players, whatever. I'm not saying I'm doing this for an ego grind or anything like that, but then at least there is something to. Like, once you've hit the lead and you're not a pro, it's sort of game over. You win your 7 games or whatever it is, and you're done, right? Yeah, maybe it's just like. Maybe I am a little bit too competitive for this stage of the game. That could also be the case, right?
But I think as well, John, that, and James backed me up on this one, I think this year with Evos has been their big success. I think Evos has been absolutely amazing. I mean, that's why I've played a lot of Rush, which I quite enjoy. I wish they'd kick players out who can't, who just have their players run about daft and not actually contributing to the game. Wish there was something on that they could do. they've tried their best for that. But I think the Evos have certainly kept me in the game, and I think they've kept you in the game as well, James.
Yeah, definitely. That's the only really thing, Chris, to be honest, has kept me in the game so long. Is I do like Team of the Season, but like I said, it's just been my every promo now. So if there wasn't any evolutions to grind for, then I just wouldn't play. And also as well, that's maybe by design as well, because if you think about it, some evils are always a max stat. You can get plus 10, plus 15, plus 20, but there's always a max stat, and that's a wee bit disappointing as well for it's my Celtic team and your Rangers team, and I believe if you get a UV team or a Feyenoord team, John. So that's really just keeping me in the game.
Yeah, and well, like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe it's just I sometimes need a competitive edge, and I think at this stage of the game, there's just not much to play for.
I think as well, John, just as well as you think about it tonight, there's 3 teams out. There's 3 leagues out tonight. So, with it, and it's just not a criticism of the female players being in the game either. But there's 30, 40 players. You're going to pack a decent card. I mean, I've packed Van Aken. He's 95 rated cam, 6'5". I think he's about 30k. He's a wonderful player to play with. And he's only 30k. He's 95 rated. I think there is too many. I hate Team of the Year. Everybody knows I hate Team of the Year. But actually,
this is the opposite for you, right?
This is the opposite. There's just too much. It's like what Wimby says. It's like going to that buffet that sells, Italian that section, Indian that section, Chinese there, Thai there. All of it's reasonable, but none of it's great. And I think that's the problem at the moment. We've got reasonable players, and the few great ones, if you look at our Discord, nobody's packing them. I think a Van Dijk's the best thing I've seen. I don't think
I saw Salah from...
But I think there's been a couple, John. I mean, I looked this week, and also last week we've been in Crete, having a look through the Discord, the pack pools, and there's nothing really super juicy in there. So I think that's the problem. Potentially what they should do is just do a position. So do a goalkeeper, do a defender, do a midfielder and a striker, and do 5 players, something like that for each league, and make it smaller, and then make the pool smaller, and then those players become special again, because at the minute you could play with the Turan brothers in your team, both 94 rated, big massive guys, and they're a decent, they're going to be just almost as good as Mbappe or a Van Dijk or whatever.
I've got a solution for everything though, for this. We used to have I think it was FIFA 19 or 18, we used to have specific requirements on weekend leagues at the end of the year, where, for example, you needed to have all Bundesliga player or 9 out of 11 Bundesliga and nations, Brazil players, and remember distinctively. Let's do 2 things. Make requirements on these weekend leagues, since we're not using it for competitive qualifications anymore. There's no reason to not do that on weekend league. Players are cheap. You can do the loan packs and stuff as well. And you can combine that with the current promo. So you could say, you know what, play with at least 5 out of 11 team La Liga players, or 7 out of 11 La Liga players. You would get the market working again. You would be able to grind towards something because you need a fullback that fits that team for the next 2 weeks, for example. And you could say, and if you win, you get a cosmetic. Not you get a pack to get a new play, but you get a special weekend league jersey or to wear, which set in the Brazilian colors, whatever. Next week you get the female La Liga special jersey to wear if you reach elite, the second level, whatever. But then it would entice me to not only look critical at my team and open packs as well, by the way, but also entice me to play because there's something sort of special, or maybe it's a show-off factor that I need. Could also be. I mean, drop it in the comments if you think that's definitely the issue here. But in Diablo, when I get a special pet at the end of the season, when I achieve the end all targets, Chris, when I complete every single objective, they give you something special, like a special pet, which you can use in a new season. So the fact I can use that special gear and a special look when I start a new season, I think is actually pretty cool and makes me tick off all the boxes. But getting me another 95 rated player certainly isn't at this stage of the game.
But is that not what Evos are? Are Evos not that special pack or the adventure game? That's what Diablo is. You're boosting your character.
Yeah, I don't know, because if I played about a dozen games this week. I saw about 10 special evolutions, Mbappe's or Henry's. I don't really think that's really interesting.
No, but what I'm talking about, John, is I'm talking about a Feyenoord player, a Juve player, a Celtic player, Barcelona player for James. Rangers for me. I mean,
do the other way around then. Do then say, okay, if you play, I don't know, say if you play a weekend league and you use 7 of one club, you get a special evolution unlocked, which will, if the player is also from that club, you can boost him to a 95, whatever. Sure, that would help. That would be rewarding. And make sure you would play, and would make sure you open packs or grind towards certain players as well. I think I think we call this game Ultimate Team. This game is called Ultimate Team, but I don't think the ultimate goal of this game currently is getting the Ultimate Team anymore, because you get a pretty Ultimate Team fairly straight on, and it's just tinker away with your team, but you don't have much to do with that team. I think that's sort of more my issue, which I'm now facing. Weekly League isn't enticing. If I now play Weekly League, I need to get 15 wins, or something really cool from it, but then not even anymore. I would only play if I would want to get the 15 wins. And that is because I managed 14, and it's about the only thing I've not done this year. Get that 15 win. But that's a hell of a lot of energy I have to put in to go there. And even if I would get another 40 wins, I get 3 team of the season or 4 team of the season picks, which is a total of 100k of profit. Then it feels like a weekend wasted. So I don't think that's it. I think on its own, this game has been pretty good, Don't get me wrong. I think the promotions are pretty good. The power curve, I don't even think that's an issue. I think the evolutions, I don't quite dig into it, but I can definitely see the appeal there. 100% that they've done great. I think communication has been pretty good, and I think actually the game is pretty well balanced. The problem for me is I just don't know where to take my team into. What mode do I start to get to play the game, and why do I do it?
I think at this stage of the game, John, you need to find something different to do. So you maybe say, right, you know what, I'm going to play with an Eredivisie team. I think it comes down to individual choice at that point. I'm going to run an Eredivisie team in Weekend League and try and get the same record as last week. Or I'm going to run a SPFL team and try and get the same record as last week. I think it comes down to the individual's choice at this point.
That is actually a fair point. Maybe see if I can get the 14 wins again with an all-female team, for example. Except then I need coins, which is a bit late for me to start grinding those. But I do. I might see the appeal there. Thank you for that. So sorry about this 28-minute rant. Actually, I don't think it's a rant. I think it's a decent discussion to have at this point of the year as well. Especially now football season's over in most countries. So that also doesn't help, Chris.
Well, no, there's a game tomorrow, but let's not mention it.
I'm glad you said it before me, Chris.
I did say most leagues, though.
Yeah. Well, Serie A's on tonight, isn't it? It's very exciting. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Napoli. Aye, that's right. And don't you think it's weird if we're just talking about Serie A? I noticed that there's 2 games tonight, so it's the 2 first and second. There's a couple of games on Saturday. There's a couple of games on Sunday. For England and Scotland, all the last games are played at the exact same time, the exact same day. I find that really weird that they've separated that. Don't know about.
We need a Serie A expert, John.
Well,
find it weird.
There is a reason for it. Let me think about what it is.
It's probably TV, I would imagine.
No, that could be a reason.
I think the games are now set. I think this is it. The games are now set at times where the teams competing for the same thing play at the same time.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense then, right, okay.
So relegation is first, then it's like, mid-table doesn't really matter anymore. Then we have the Europa place, and then we might have the last couple of... I think that's how they sort it. And also to make it a little bit easier to be able to follow everything.
Yeah,
I think Inter their own TV time. But.
Inter's playing a week on Saturday, aren't they, in the Champions League, so they may wish to have given them the biggest possible advantage to play PSG.
Sorry, I said Juve earlier. Inter Milan. Inter.
No, I'm not going to correct you in Juve, but you are correct now.
Second.
No, because I remember 2 years ago when I was wondering the same thing when I was watching Juve, and they were like, "Why are we playing a day earlier?" But apparently, if Juve 2 years ago would have won the game against Milan at that time, they would have played on the Sunday as well. So I'm pretty sure that's how they set up the Serie A. Not at the same time.
But what you can win, like qualification, winner, so on and
Yes.
so forth. Right.
But there's 9 matches played at the same time this year, I think, as well. I'm pretty sure. There's more played on the same time as ever. So they are sort of trying to figure that out, I think.
And just if I may, a wee start for you guys and for our listeners. If Napoli win, Scott McTominay will be the first Scottishman to win the Serie. So good on him if it happens.
Yes. And it looks good for them, though, honestly.
Yeah. Well, both games are 0-0 at the moment with 10 minutes played. Hopefully I don't spoil the game for MD who listens for this. We're going to pick up the pod tomorrow and you don't realise who's actually won Serie A, but at the moment it's 0-0.
It's a good league to watch every week as well. Different time, though, because it's time for Team of the Season for Spain. We have to talk content. We're already half an hour in. What's there to say about the content? Let's start with Chris. What do you want to mention, mate? Because, I mean, usually Team of the Season, La Liga is the cherry on top, right?
So this was the main team I was looking forward to. I saved the packs, and it's very controversial. I picked the pack over Ribery. So that's the 90 plus times 2 tradable. I always get confused, so hopefully I've got that right for our listeners. So I've picked that pack. As of yet, I still haven't opened it. I'm going to open it after the pod. So I hope I can actually get something very, very juicy for La Liga. Also as well, the dream would be Yamal. But, even like some players I could possibly buy. But saying that, it's a first owner Barcelona team, so I've made a wee bit harder for myself. So even though, you've got Lewandowski that's quite cheap at the moment, you could also say that Kabarski, the centre-back, is quite cheap as well. Any Barcelona players I would love to have. And, having Lewandowski, I believe he's finesse plus, and he's low driven plus, I believe. So that'd be a great card. And I love big men up front. I'm not really the type to be like your skiller or your high dribbler like a Vinicius up front, or like a Sanchez from back in the day. But Lewandowski's my type of player. So I'll look forward to Pat Kim. I hope so. So I'm really just more interested in the Barcelona players. Hopefully the SBC could be good over the next couple of days. Hopefully the player from the Cup will be good. Unfortunately, I missed out on Xavi Simons by a couple of wins. I know it's the Bundesliga, but the man used to play for Barcelona for our listeners. So I just really looking forward to the Barcelona team, to be honest. But, team of the season at the moment, I'm sure everyone would agree. There's not really a bad card at the moment, and I'm sure you would say that as well, John.
No, I think that's exactly what it is. Like, even if you look at Lewandowski, he's 5-star, all the stats in the right places, and he's 99,000 coins, which is pretty nuts, right? And you said, talking about the Kubarsi card, 40k, something like that now?
Yeah.
39,000.
Very cheap.
A 93 rated centre back with 91 pace on it, and looks really good. Koundé, 93,000 coins.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy prices.
It's actually pretty nuts, right? So, but what do you think about the Courtois card for 20,000 coins?
That's mad.
So
it's strange. This year. It's just so cheap. We were talking about it a few weeks ago. If our listeners remember how if Premier League was that ever cheapest team of the season we've had, and it's pretty much been the same like theme really throughout the whole teams.
Yeah, and this it's just like this is the problem. There are no bad cards here, and if I look at the female team of the season side as well, right? Putellas and Bomati definitely stand out and are very expensive. But even Ona Botley,
Pajor
as well, 184,000. Pajor is more expensive than Lewandowski, but that card looks absolutely insane.
She was really good our team of the week, if you remember. I think it was the first few weeks of the game. She had a team of the week, and she was pretty good. She was really good, actually. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so 4-star, 5-star, super speed, advance forward, false 9++, inside forward, plus can play as a left wing or a striker, technical first touch, press proven, low driven. I mean, absolutely insane cards for so cheap.
Oh, aye, without a doubt.
The problem is, like I said, there's also, for example, you look at the Caicedo card, 99 pace, 90 shot, 95 dribbling, 95 passing. Absolutely insane card. 5-star, 4-star as well. Absolutely 99 and 99 on acceleration and on sprint speed. Insane card, 40,000 coins, 44,000.
Crazy.
This is something you could never imagine during the season. This is the price you would pay for these cards during FUT last year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
This is thing. Let's see if Chris is already back into his seat though. Chris, you're back
Can you
up
hear
and
me,
running,
guys?
mate.
I am back. I was
Yeah.
abducted by aliens there, messing about here.
Welcome back, mate.
Thank you very much. You can see I'm now in the spaceship, been swapped over. John, the prices are crazy. As I say, 95 rated Vinacker last week. Packed them, delighted. Looked at the price, 30k. I just for you guys, and you guys are far better players than me. Could you just explain to me, for people listening out there, what is the difference between an Mbappe card, which is 97 rated, I think, and I'm going to butcher the man's name, Goicarez from La Liga Portugal, or whatever that's called, who's 96 rated and is less than a tenth of his price. What would you guys think?
Go ahead, James. This one's all yours.
I was going to say the same for you, John. I'll just probably say possibly the Mbappe body type glitches and also the community. But then in black and white, Chris, nothing really, to be honest. Do you know what I'm saying? Like on paper, black and white, nothing really. But then again, the hype from the community, another thing that the community could possibly is it responsible for, put it that way. And also just like body types, and I don't really know how many play styles or whatever he's got, but I can imagine, he would have good play styles as well. So it's just comes down to community hype at the end of the day, really, to be honest. Or then if you want to go really into nitty gritty, some people might argue, again, just looking for a balanced view of the glitchy animations that Mbappe card does. But what would you think, John?
Yeah, well, I do think Mbappe usually is like a super special card. Feels different, slight different, just a tad faster than his stats usually say. Some people don't like his finishing. I absolutely love it, especially his low-driven shot is amazing usually. Gyurk is having a card now, and that's actually still 700 plus coins, 700,000 plus coins, shows that that's actually a really good card as well. I think Mbappe is the outlier on the coin price, but a card worth more than 500,000 at this stage of the game is actually a really solid card, right? A very hyped up card. And I think this Gyurk card looks like absolutely something special, except he's got a 4-star skill move. The only big difference, I guess. But then again, is that so much better card than a Lewandowski or Bajor?
I know.
That's my sort of what I mean. So like, it doesn't really matter. And looking at the female team again, we just spoke about the fact that I maybe as a sort of challenge get the Liga, like get a full female team going. The Lacra card, the center defender from, I think she's Real Madrid as well. Yeah. Superb stats. Sure, she's 5'8", which might be a problem in defense, but she's really fast. Jockey plus, aerial plus, anticipate plus, bruiser plus, normal block. She got everything. 11,000 coins. 20,000 coins currently.
20,000, aye.
20,000. Left back, Alexia Fernandez, just looked at the stats, can also play left midfielder and left winger. Plus on most of the rules anyways. 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill. Superb stats, bruiser, intercept, whip, pass, cross, you name it. He's got it all. She is a whopping 11,000 coins.
That's crazy. That's card.
So, and even Ona Butley is 37,000. So for a good 200,000 coins, you might be able to get a full blue female team of season team going, and I don't think that would matter. Like, except for the glitchy things we got this week with the evolutions, there wouldn't be too much between them all. Yeah, there's plenty to get from these promos, I think. But I would find it a waste putting in 1.2 million on a Vinicius or 7 million on Mbappe, something like that. 7.7 million. I think there's better options, more fun options available now, at least. Any objectives or any SBCs you want to discuss, Chris?
Just having a quick, just to give a goal flash there for people out there. This will please John. Inter have scored 1-0, and it is De Vrij. Have I said that right, John?
De Vrij.
De Vrij. He has scored for there. So at the moment, Inter are going to win Serie A with 22 minutes gone in there. I'm just going to jump into Footbin, John, and pull up the objective player there and to see what we've got. SBC-wise, there is a player called... I'm going to get this, butcher this. I don't know why you always get the Scots guy.
Babajir.
Babajir, thank you so much. I don't know why you just don't say the names, John. You're so much better at it than me. And
I can do the other one as well. Anthony?
Please, if you don't mind. Anthony. What I would say about Anthony is he is potentially going to win a European Cup this week. I believe Betis plays Chelsea on Wednesday, which is probably slightly better than his actual Man United teammates for a very disappointing Europa League final that we had there. Congratulations to old bugger it. He will be absolutely delighted, of course. I'm not sure he's back for Cloud9 at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if they win, but that Anthony card, this is an issue. Like, you spend 500,000 coins for an SBC like Anthony. Well, you can pick all the cards, the Caicedo card up for like 40k currently. Mm-hmm. I would stay away from SBCs that aren't like top notch now. Just don't do it. I don't think it's worth it anymore. Would you agree, James? Or
I would agree, but I would say at this time of the season, if you're a real Betis fan or a Man United Evo team, then go for it. I definitely. But other than that, yeah, definitely be more picky now with your SBCs, without a doubt.
Yeah, but Babajide, for example, is 100k. And there's not much between those cards. So why go for an Anthony? Babajide can play right winger as well. So.
Yeah, I totally agree, John. It just comes down to if they're a real Betis fan or a Man United fan. That's time of the season for me.
That is, of course, a good point. That is a good point. Targets this week. We said I can't figure out my targets to play. I will think about it, and if people are listening to the show, please drop your comments below. What should be my target? But James, you've got a certain target ahead of you because you've got some news to announce.
I certainly do, John. Hi, thanks very much. So, like I touched on, listeners, to my Celtic Evo team. Basically, I've been trying to build this Celtic Evo team, but I had an end goal in mind, an end target in mind, and that is I'm going to return to stream next Friday, the 30th of May at 6 o'clock UK time for just content time. But I'm going to do it. I want to do it for make it worth my while. So I want to do it for Celtic FC Foundation. So I would love to do it for them. It's a good cause, and also as well, it doesn't matter who you are or wherever you are. Celtic, what they do is they open the doors 3 weeks, 3 times a week, and you can be anyone you want. You could be homeless, anything at all, and you go in and you get a grub. There's food there, totally free of charge, and I just think that's brilliant. It's a very good thing to do. I'm quite proud that the club does that, so I would love to contribute to that. So I'm going to do for every for every win in FUT Champs, I usually get 8 or 9 wins, but I bet you lads will probably get 1 win or something that day. But I'm going to do £10 for every win. I'm going to do it, and then also as well, it's not one of the charity streams where some people do a charity stream. Then it's 40% goes to the charity. By the way, guys, all donations, everything at all, will go towards the foundation. And then in the coming weeks and months, I would love to do other things as well, not just for Celtic, for other different foundations that do similar things. Because I'm a big believer in, you need to give back to the most, unfortunate in society. So I definitely, so I'm looking forward to it. I've spoke to Celtic FC Foundation. They're looking forward to it as well. So yeah, hopefully I can do a bit of good and hopefully get the wins as well. So that'd be good.
I'm pretty sure you will. Where can if people follow the stream? Just plug it in here.
Yeah, thank you. It'll be YouTube, so it'll be Tolando77. So that's just TOLANDO 77, and it's just my YouTube. It'll just be a YouTube stream.
All right, we'll put it in the description as well. So it's on May the 30th at 6 p.m.
Yeah, content time. Thanks very much, John.
Okay, so go check it out. And of course, like I said before, but he didn't want to accept it, Chris. What we usually share in these donations. So we will definitely chip in and help you out there as well.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that.
So whatever you bring in for yourself, 9 wins is £90. We'll make it the double for it. Yeah. So we'll get that sorted, my friend.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted with that, John.
Even though it's the green club, Chris, I think for this situation we can make a little bit of an exception.
Making it very difficult for me to say anything bad about Celtic there, so I think I'll just keep quiet and watch your stream, mate, and cheer you on, pal.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate it, lads. Thank you.
Awesome. Chris, do you have any targets left for this weekend or the weeks after?
I just take it easy. Just going to take it easy.
Oh, no. Take it easy. Good.
Yeah, going to take it easy, guys. That's my plan this week. Take it easy, have a bit of fun, and watch the Mighty Blades hopefully qualify against Sunderland to get to Premier League. My wife is a Blade, so she's super excited about that.
Awesome. Anything to add yourself, James?
No, not at all. Just that I'm sure that I echo the listeners. It's just good to have you both back, from Crete. So that's good. And it's again good to do a podcast with you lads. Definitely. Aye. So
perfect. We'll be back every week now as well. So join the Discord, and then you can join us live every Friday around 7 p.m. UK, I should say. You can join us live in the studio while we record this, and you see all the bloopers we make, which we probably, hopefully, don't put out on YouTube either. Chris has seen plenty of blunders when we were recording in Crete last week. So that was quite something special. Also, I have one more story about the Crete event. So this one James doesn't know. James, we have a portable podcast kit with us. Well, portable, it's 35 kilos of equipment, which you have to carry up the step. So we found a pretty cool balcony to record the podcast on, right? And you can pretty much do that in Crete because it hardly ever rains whenever we're there. So it took us 2 hours to set everything up on the balcony because it was actually pretty tight. So the camera angles and fitting the lights, getting the beautiful sea in the background, hearing Chris, of course, being chased away by a non-existent snake. Then we get to record. You know what happens? 1 minute in the recording, it started raining. And not a little bit either. So yeah, that was quite of an experiences. But we got experiences with setting up and breaking stuff apart really quickly now as well. So that's something that happened, and which nobody will ever see because we only recorded 1 actual minute of footage on that moment.
That's crazy. Yeah. And might add to the end, you're asking if I wanted to add something on that note, John. Scotland have had 4 weeks without any rain over my part of the world anyway, so it's crazy. It's in Glasgow.
I've definitely seen that you guys did make up for it today, though.
Well, hasn't came here so far, but it's for tomorrow. Probably in Glasgow. Definitely.
Well, you can take 1 day of rain after what we went to last week there.
Oh, listen, I love the rain. I like the cool. I'm happy where I stay.
Add rain to food again. That's something we want. No, we don't. Thank you so much. Keep following us on our socials, especially Instagram. We're trying to be more active there. And TikTok, of course. Don't forget TikTok is in my notes. And we'll be back with a regular schedule next week. Every Friday we record. Every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. UK, 8 a.m. UK. The show is live on every Saturday. We'll be doing lots of bonus content in the coming week and some of the new voices that are in being introduced into, maybe for good, for this community. We'll be doing a show with as well. So Chris and I will be hosting shows with the people that won the sent in, how do you call it? Voice sent in contest. So looking forward to that. And also our special live event, which we recorded in Crete, is live now on our YouTube and of course on your regular podcast players. Thank you so much, guys. Let's see if we can still do it, because there's one thing left for us to do, and that is to drop it.
Drop it.
FUT.